Yeah, we do need a website.
We need 5
We
websites.
need Wix. Did everybody just get an ad for Wix? Oh, god damn it. Fucking Echo. Oh my god.
This program is needlessly confusing.
It's designed for people that want to do other stupid bullshit, but... I think it might only be fucked up for me.
Only for you? Are you special?
Can I get...
The echo is very quiet.
The echo is very quiet. I think the echo is probably solved now. I bet the echo was coming from my hands. From my hands. You know, the things you put on your ears to listen to sound. Hands. Headphones. It's tolerable. But I would prefer it to be non-existent, if at all possible. Is it still there? Hi, Angel Crosshairs, Morzathoth, and Jonathan Jensen. Today, magic echo-inducing hands. Hi, Beth. I'm gonna blame Beth for all my technical difficulties.
When in doubt, blame someone who's not physically there.
Because, Jonathan Jensen, I've been binge watching Dead Serious at work. I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy that I have a little thing now that people can actually binge, because I think it's kind of not as easy to binge my stories, because, not to sound pretentious, but there's like more thinking to do. Whereas when you're tackling another person's story, it's much more approachable. It's kind of like a Let's Play, so you can like listen, but also kind of turn off at the same time.
Yeah, you can listen while also doing your work.
But on the subject of blaming people, I recently listened to the first episode of Carnal Chills, which is a new YouTube channel that does nothing but horror-related erotica. So it's horror first, but it's also erotic. So basically what I do.
Yeah.
And they have a little intro-outro thing, just like they have on Midnight Marinara. And the host was saying that at the end, if anyone dislikes the stories told on here, go blame Dead Palette. And I'm like, oh, you cheeky.
Just always blame Dead Palette. I dropped my pizza. And it was Dead Palette.
At school today, we had a pizza party, and I somehow convinced them.
Did you drop the pizza?
No, I somehow convinced them to get Donato's, which I was happy with, because other pizza grosses me out, but Donato's is fucking awesome. So Tonight, I think that we are going to be... Hey, Abysme. Tonight, I think we're going to be looking at a creepypasta that should be in the description box, entitled Something's Going On in the Middle East. The story is written by Ongoing Ellipses, and it is posted on 15hourcreepystories.tumblr.com. I'll be posting that in the chat right now. This is no longer called Dead Palace Jackoff Corner.
Unfortunately.
So I can run ads on it and make pennies.
Make so many pennies.
Oh, man.
You might be able to buy a 50-cent piece of candy.
Get some 50-cent stickers. Hey,
Get
Skillfully.
one gold sticker.
So that's the first story we're going to read. I'm curious if anyone wants to ask me any questions. Go right ahead. I'm assuming everyone knows who it is that I'm talking with here. Chelsea, my imaginary girlfriend.
I am super imaginary.
I'm going to throw those micro pennies into Bitcoin, says Abysme. Are Bitcoins still a thing? Are we still pushing Bitcoins? Beth Morton, you just need to rename it something more subtle to get around it. Dead Pallets, self-release,
90-degree wall.
90 degree. Hero Alado, I heard scary weeb stuff and assumed it was Dead Pallet.
It's a good assumption.
Morzathoth, what the hell is Blame Roll about? Blame Roll is not a horror story. It's literally just my earliest memory. And the fact that I can't explain Blame Roll is what makes it worthy of telling the world to me. For those that don't know, you can look up Blame Roll, and I should be like the first thing that comes up. But Blame Roll is a short horror story that I narrated early on this channel, where a boy is waiting at the base of his stairs with a stuffed bunny. Guess who has a stuffed bunny? I do. Waiting at the base of his stairs in his house to go to Bob Evans because he's hungry for Bob Evans.
And who isn't, really?
Who isn't? David was when he came here, because they don't have Bob Evans out in California land, where the times are wrong, and there's a bunch, and the palm trees are...
And they don't have real pizza.
And they don't have real pizza.
Anyway.
They do have California Pizza Kitchen, which they do have California Pizza Kitchen in California.
Alright, so it is confirmed.
It's confirmed. They do have California Pizza Kitchens. So the boy's at the bottom of the stairs. This is a completely weird telling of the story. Now that's like... It's like all weird and ominous in the other way, and now it's like shitposty.
Well, that's what this is. This is just shitpost.
But then I named it. I named the stream Yuudachi in the Japanese letters, and this to be pretentious. So he's at the bottom of the stairs. He's waiting for his mom, and then he gets bored, goes into the kitchen, and sees that a bunch of all the pots and pans are out of the cabinets on the floor and filled with water, and he's just like, what the fuck? And then they go to Bob Evans, and then the next day, teachers are mad at him for no reason, and this is just a series of unconnected events that just fucked with my child brain, and I always liked the concept as a horror story. Hi, Slime Beast. What do you...
I don't know what my first childhood memory is. It's either the ocean trying to eat me or me trying to kill my sister. With milk.
Okay, question. Where were you putting the milk? Which end was the milk going in?
The strawberry milk was going into the mouth hole.
And where was the chocolate milk going?
Into the chocolate milk hole.
Into the chocolate... Hero Alado, what is it? What is this? I think it's a creepypasta. Frosted Mini Fears, what's so spoopy about boiling water? It wasn't even boiling, it was just out there. It wasn't even dangerous. skillfully says, my first childhood memory was breaking my leg, so life started off great. Are you the kid from... Are you 1000 Vultures? Are you the kid from...
Could be.
From Pen Pals? Morzathoth, my earliest memory is scaring my cousin in the forest.
How did you scare your cousin?
Are you the person from The Village?
From The Village?
By M. Night Shyamalan. You're the mentally challenged David Brody in the woods in the red cloak, just creeping up on him. Oh, we're getting some weird...
I think my earliest memory is opening a piñata at a Chuck E. Cheese.
That's before the whole Five Nights at Freddy's thing kicked off. So that's not a scary memory.
That's happy.
Unless like something gross came out of the piñata, like worms. Tormendal, my earliest memory is asking what this stream was. Shit posting, then we're going to read.
More shit posting.
Yeah, because I needed to get into the mindset of shits and giggles before I actually read this story. Because last time we read, we were kind of not in a shit posting mood, so we would just like read and then try and give analysis without any kind of like banter, and it was a little awkward. So I realize now we kind of have to tell people that this is happening and then get them to talk. That way there's something to feed off of. Yeah, what if the piñata was alive? That'd be a good idea.
What if the piñata was just secretly a lot of mini piñatas? Like, have you seen those piñata cookies?
So a piñata filled up with piñatas. So it's like one of those one of those bombs that's a bunch of other bombs that blow up into littler bombs.
And then those bombs blow up?
That's one of my favorite bits from The Simpsons is Lisa is in a classroom with a bunch of boys. And so it's nothing but her and boys, and they're all being hyper-masculine boys. And you see, I think it's Nelson, is drawing a picture of a fighter jet made out of guns shooting guns. I'm like, that's pretty much what you do when you're a little elementary school boy.
Yeah.
Slime Beast, what if it turned out that the piñata and what if it turned out I was the piñata and I wrote this from hell and you're me and turn around and the piñata is behind you?
I think there's your next story right there.
So I don't know if everyone saw the newest Undercooked analysis that we did with Cinema Nippon and Animal Fact Files, where we tackled a lovely story entitled Naruto: The Lost Episode. But boy, that was a barrel of laughs. They had no idea what they were walking into. I had a vague idea. A bunch of jutsus, that's what they were walking into. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and get into this. Just for good measure, I want to repost the link in the description, in the chat rather. I don't want people to not have a link to the story. The story we are reading is entitled Something's Going On in the Middle East. There's usually something going on in the Middle East. The story is written again by Ongoing Eclipse. I expect this story to probably be pretty good because the person who posts these usually hunts down some pretty cool stories. Alright. As a drone operator, you eventually get desensitized to killing people via proxy. Slenderman proxies. Though it never becomes as easy as some believe it to be. I first came into the job expecting it to be something along the lines of a video game. But even when you're looking at confirmed terrorists through an IR camera of your Reaper, my mommy made me pizza rolls. You can't help but humanize them. It's simple empathy, and unless you're a psychopath, launching missiles into those strobing white and black hot lights will eventually take a toll on you. I've been diagnosed with uncomplicated PTSD, for example, even though I've never actually left the control facility in the line of duty. All right, I think that that's a pretty compelling opening to who we're dealing with here. Got a good sense of their personality, of they're not trying to be overly dramatic so far, but they're saying that this is definitely something that has weighed on my conscience. It's a good, like, it's a problem, but it's not that much of a problem.
It's a tiny problem.
And they're taking
it's like when you stub your toe in the door.
So it's when you just kill a few people.
Just a few.
They are dehumanized somewhat, but it's a good back and forth to get you in that paragraph. They give you an exact idea of where they're at in terms of guilt.
Yeah, just kind of on the guilt scale. The incident I'll be talking about here was supposed to be a simple kill mission in Afghanistan, as best I knew. The target was a cell of insurgents who were, according to our intel, planning on mounting a series of bombings along the Pakistan border. For what reason, I didn't know, but I had a job to do, and as one of the senior pilots, I was intent on seeing it through. Gotta kill all of them.
That's a kind of a bizarre term there, pilot. Like, you think of pilots going out, not sitting on their ass in a control room.
Yeah, you don't think of them as, like, drone pilots. You think of them as, like, airplane pilots. This is more like air traffic control, really.
So I'm going to assume. More's the thought. Kangas Khan. I'm going to assume that our pilot is Lena Oxton. That's who it is. She's gotta bomb these Packies, oi.
I don't know who that is.
Well, Tracer.
Oh.
Beth mentioned I did something similar this past week on Raw Dog Readings with I'm not sure how you say that.
What?
XORAX. If you haven't read a story that is entitled XORAX, I would highly recommend it, as it's kind of fucking ridiculous. But I like it in its own right. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. I'm going to ignore the fact that Frosted Many Fears is bringing up Kekistan in the chat. We don't need to go into Chelsea and I's Kekistani heritage, but we're just going
We're just gonna skip over that. Really.
We're going to continue reading. As you probably know, drone pilots work in pairs. I did not know that. And my co-pilot was a long-standing friend of mine. We didn't anticipate any issues except perhaps some mental anguish after the deed was done. So we approached the mission like any other. Maybe it's like one of those regret faps.
Yeah, like you get super drunk and you offer to your best friend to suck his dick.
Oh yeah, no, that's
that's never happened to you, huh?
No, I've never offered to suck my friend's dick while really, really drunk.
Well, neither have I, so we've got that. Our predator had.
Are you saying we're not friends?
Well, we're best friends, so It doesn't count.
Okay. You can offer to suck your best friend's dick if you're drunk. That doesn't count. Nothing weird about that.
Life lessons with Dead Palette.
Okay, you can read.
Can't I, though? Our predator had taken off at 2200 from an Afghan FOB, which allowed us to reach the designated location in a very short amount of time.
I know from the very worst game ever made that FOB means forward...
Fallout Boy?
Yes.
That's what I assumed.
Afghan Fallout Boy means forward operating base. Everything was fine and up until we reached the distance at which we could make contact with the target. That's when strange visual artifacts started popping up all over our monitors. It looked like the screen was tearing for the most part. Okay, that is the correct word. I'm just illiterate. It looked like the screen was tearing for the most part, though like nothing I had ever seen before. Okay, so this is a completely new kind of idea for the Ringu kind of crux of a story, where it's like using an existing media that can potentially have glitches and kind of artifacting. Instead of doing this via VHS tape, it's happening via the
Drone.
the IR sensor on the drone. That's a pretty cool idea.
And, using Fallout Boy.
And using Fallout Boy. So let's see what they kind of... where they go with this concept.
All right. We asked the HQ to try and clear up the signal if they could, as we were practically flying blind at that point. Whatever magic they did, it worked and successfully minimized the problem, though it did persist for the remainder of the operation. With our cameras back up and running, we resumed the run.
Okay. So we don't know what fixed the problem, but it didn't completely go away is what we're getting here? Tormented. The Predator took off, but it ran into Alien Requiem. Oh my god, that movie's terrible. I cannot stand that movie. It makes no sense. Like, I can't remember the place, but I think it takes place in, like, the middle of fucking LA, and there's predators. And there's...
just in LA, auditioning for all the parts.
Not
and
like,
taking them.
Not like a few predators, like a substantial amount of predators. And aliens, which are, like, specifically designed to, like, immediately...
Kill everything.
Spread out and kill everything and make more of themselves. And, like, the other one was in Antarctica because that's isolated and makes fucking sense. Anyway.
The other one was good.
Okay, so we resumed the run.
Yes.
Targets were located in a small, dilapidated village that was flanked by low hills on the east and south, and a river flowing right through. We were told that the location had been evacuated weeks ago for undisclosed reasons, and that we were to engage as soon as we had visual contact. Again, paragraphs like this are really making me feel like the author of this story, or the narrator of the story, probably both, have some sort of military experience, because they're describing this in very military terms. These are the things that someone who has a military mind and has been trained to like, this is the way a person who's been trained to think in military terms would write this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would describe...
Yeah, they have
they would
that
describe,
kind of structure to it.
Yeah, they would describe things this way. Anyway.
Where were we? A Hellfire missile was ready to go as soon as we were, but my co-pilot asked me if I'm seeing what he was seeing. The camera was switched to hot white, and at the distance of about 3 clicks, we could see a number of people huddling around the village center. Naturally, we were confused as the place was supposed to be deserted, yet we could count about 36 people standing down there.
Okay. We informed the Central about this oddity, and we were told to investigate before engaging. After zooming in closer and switching to black hot to try and discern what was going on, we realized that the people weren't communicating in any way. They were all just standing straight, as if in a military formation of some sort. Except they weren't. It was a ragtag group of inert, okay, there we go. Inert man-like shapes, without any motion whatsoever. Ooh.
Oh.
That's pretty subtle and doesn't tell us anything quite yet, but that is disconcerting. I like that.
We gave the details to our higher-ups, which was followed by radio silence. While the HQ was discussing our course of action, me and my co-pilot kept a close eye on the people. It felt as if they were mannequins of some sort, and after an uneasy joke about their
rigidity.
That's a trippy word. We both agreed that something wasn't right.
I love how you corrected me not being able to say.
You know what?
Inert.
I can't speak. You can't read. Together we make one functioning human being.
One functioning streamer.
Yeah.
Morzatha says, insert man. Yeah, that's pretty spooky.
Insert the man right there. Boop.
Okay. Whatsoever the virginity, that wasn't right. The silence continued for about 20 minutes and in that meantime, I offered to suck my friend's dick. I was getting pretty drunk.
I mean, we were both super uneasy. It was the only course of action.
Yes. Nothing like a little sucky-sucky between best friends to...
And co-pilots, really.
Mm-hmm. Best friends and co-pilots.
Yes.
When a well-dressed man with glasses and a mustache entered the room from which we were flying the drone, immediately he told us not to be worried and that he had just had to confirm something in person for us to proceed. Okay.
All right. I'm imagining like a really ridiculous mustache.
I'm imagining a Star Trek Bizarro World mustache where it's like all of the evil versions of people. So more like a goatee than a mustache.
Okay. But I'm also like imagining Cyril Figgis.
I'm imagining Cyril Figgis with a goatee.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. He ordered us to switch to night vision and focus the camera towards the center of the group. Sure enough, this revealed something new. From each and every one of the people standing there stretched something out of their necks. A thin, rope-like strand which was visible only through the image intensifier, meaning it emanated virtually no heat at all. All of these strands were pointing to where the man had us direct the camera, from which a substantially large, almost completely invisible shape tugged at them from time to time. I like that.
Yeah, that's...
I find that is enjoyable and pleasing.
That is really disturbing in a subtle way.
Yes.
I like, okay, trying to think how to say this. My initial thing was, okay, we're a drone pilot. We're asked to do maybe unethical things, and maybe the story is going to be a commentary on that. As this is going on, like, it's like, higher up guy enters the room, right? And you immediately think he's going to be like, no, do it. It's fine. And like,
do it, bro.
And like tell you that it's fine no matter what. And I haven't read the rest of this yet, but I'm starting to feel like, no, this guy isn't really an antagonist. He really is like trying to figure something out before you proceed.
Right. I've already read it to the end.
So maybe he knows what's going on, but potentially what this could be, but maybe it's not as insidious from the military. Maybe it is something that's just they stumbled upon something fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
While me and my co-pilot watched in disbelief, the visitor nodded with an indifferent look on his face and ordered us to fire. We tried to argue against launching the Hellfire in the middle of a crowd of what had to be civvies, but he was adamant. Immediately, the HQ started exerting pressure as well, and we had no choice but to do so. Okay, so they did go through with it. When the deed was done, and the drone was on its way home, me and my friend had both been given additional NDAs to sign, which, as you can see, I'm breaking here. Everything in regard to this was incredibly surreal, though the thing that bothered me the most was what that strange man told me as we were leaving the facility. They were already dead.
No. They were all Bruce Willis.
Huh. So I'm assuming when they say already dead that they mean metaphorically rather than literally.
Physically.
So, or they were good as dead is kind of the sentiment. I need to reread this part. He ordered us to switch on the night vision and focus the camera towards the center of the group. Sure enough, this revealed something new. From each and every one of the people standing there, stretched out something out of their neck, a thin, rope-like strand, which was only visible through the intensifier, meaning it emanated virtually no heat at all. All of these strands were pointing to where the man had directed the camera, from which a substantially large, if not completely invisible, shape tugged at them from time to time. Okay. That is so vague and surreal. This is reading like something the Little Fears would cover. It's really it's vague, but there is so much uneasiness here. Does anyone have any feelings about this in the comments? Hello, Kayla. Hello, Sakura. Hello,
Prasicor.
Prasicor. Let's.
I believe someone up earlier said something about constructing a Let's Player out of body parts. We need a few more body parts, really. Hi, Kayla.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
For people just showing up, here's where the story can be found. Oh, that's a good repository for a bunch of good stories. It's 15-hour creepy stories.tumblr.com. I'm totally not plugging them because they plug my shit on Tumblr all the time. I actually haven't submitted to them in a long time. But man, I really like the stories they post. Yeah, man, that's a bizarre story. I should make a note to read shitty stories. That way
that way your mind isn't blown.
Yeah, that way my mind isn't blown. I don't have to work as hard.
Well, we're supposed to be shitposting.
Does anyone else not hear the stream anymore? Is it just Prasicor? Chicago Canine. I took it as they were all dead villagers and someone was holding them up like puppets. But no, because they had heat coming from their bodies. And the ropey strands, the hot ropey strands were not
coming
actually
out of their neck.
Were not actually hot at all. They were completely inert compared to the... See, the word inert came up, so now I need to use the word inert.
Yeah, now you have to say it like a couple more times.
Yeah, it was completely inert. It wasn't, however, rigid, because it was rope.
Yeah.
There was no rigidity in the rope.
No. That's like one of those words I can't say.
There are about 65,000 words in the English language. Chelsea has mastery over about 10,000.
At least I can read fast.
You can, but who has need for that? Because I can't read quicker than I can read out loud. I just gotta go in that case. Tormental, you wouldn't hit a man with all these civvies. Civilians, an entity was using them to protect itself. Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Are you sure it wasn't like acting out a soap opera?
I think Tormental might be...
But that is a good idea, though.
Yeah, I think Tormental might be onto something with that concept. Hello, Emily Smith. I don't think I've seen the name Emily Smith around. So, hi, Emily Smith.
Hi.
If this is your first time commenting to say the balls are inert. Okay, let's instead perhaps read something stupid.
Something hopefully incredibly stupid.
Watch it turn out. I'm gonna
Watch, this is gonna be the best thing you've ever read, and it's just gonna blow your mind.
Just like Blue blew my mind. The Eiffel 65 creepypasta.
Yep.
Oh my god. Tormental. It was Mr. Creepypasta and the warm bodies where his narrator clicked.
Evil cat lady.
Hello, evil cat lady. Hello, AJ Wright. I took the ropes to be more of parasites. That could be it as well. Obviously, that story is open to interpretation. But obviously, something's going on in the Middle East.
Something's going on in the Southwest.
So, DP, how do you feel about Sakura totally sounding like the Little Fierce Senpai? She needs to pitch herself down like 2% if she wants to sound like the Little Fears. and I wouldn't be against her doing that from story to story. I would recommend to Sakura in your narrations to maybe learn how to edit your voice a little bit to give it variety over time, and try and make the most of that, kind of depending on what the story is, and if it's a first-person narrative, if there's something you can do to add variety to that kind of stuff, to your narrations, just going forward, that might be a good idea. Pitch up, pitch down, kind of mess with the levels, put some more high end on, some more low end on. Anyway, hello, Rugger Williams. We just read a good story, and we're going to probably read a bad story now.
We're going to read the bad story.
Leave now. This is the bad story. Okay. This is also something I probably shouldn't read with Chelsea, since she knows nothing about it.
I'm going to get none of these references.
We should read.
I'm just going to be like, what's that? What's that mean?
I should be reading this with Alan, because I think he's the only other person who gets this.
Do you want to read this with Alan instead?
No, this is dumber for me to read this with you, so that's what we're doing.
So that's how we're doing this?
This is WWF Canceled In Your House pay-per-view. In Your House used to be, for those that don't know, like Chelsea, before they had a bunch of different names for their pay-per-views, they just had one monthly pay-per-view that was called In Your House. So they had, their regular shows, and instead of having cool names like Backlash or Fastlane, all of them were In Your House. They just had one name for it. And then they realized, oh, we could do cool stuff like Backlash.
Is that really cool, though?
No, not really. Okay. Chicago Canine. Maybe the ropes were pumped something into the bodies to keep them warm for the camera drone. That's not a bad idea.
Oh.
So maybe like insulated rope that looks like it's not cold, not hot, pumping hot stuff into the bodies.
Right.
Oh my god, the theories are off the chain. Emily Smith, pay the WWE to send wrestlers into your house to beat you up. Not a bad idea.
Sounds like oh man, what's...
Chelsea's...
My brain stopped working for a second. Sounds like something Make-A-Wish would do.
Yeah. John Cena is...
I wanted to say Once Upon a Child.
Ooh. Yeah, they definitely do. The WWE does a lot of Make-A-Wish shit. But they say that John Cena does the most, and he has, but he hasn't done the most by a large margin. It's actually like every wrestling good guy does an ass load of it. And so, if you don't want to do a bunch of Make-A-Wishes, and you just want to wrestle, make sure you're a bad guy.
Right.
Unless you're Randy Orton, because kids like Randy Orton, even though he's like a straight-up asshole. He's a snake. Before I start telling the story, let me introduce myself. My name is Dexter. I'm sorry that your name is Dexter, Dexter.
That's unfortunate.
And I am currently playing football for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers? Chanticleers?
Chanticleers?
That is a terrible football team name.
CCC.
Growing up, I was a huge fan of pro wrestling, and I was always begging my parents to let me stay up late to watch Monday Night Raw. Raw, I don't care what you say, Raw is a great name for a television show, especially for like 90s we're going to like have raunchy shit. That's a great name. Yes, I know wrestling is mostly fake. Mostly. But I never really cared. I just wanted to see my favorite wrestler, Kane, chokeslam everyone from Coleslaw, Steve Austin. Oh God. Coleslaw Steve Austin. Oh, boy.
Just draw something. Just draw coleslaw as a wrestler.
Oh, Christ. To meat. I don't remember a wrestler named Meat, but that's what it says. M-E-A-T, meat.
Well, you put the coleslaw on the meat, and you wrap it.
Oh my
in
god.
bacon.
I love that people are able to hear our reaction in real time. And know that that wasn't planned. That was pure idiocy. Okay, you read about this intense relationship Kane has with his brother.
Oh, it's so intense. It's so beautifully intense. Recently, with classes and football games, I've had trouble keeping up with both Raw and SmackDown. The other thing that I only had a low to moderate amount of money, so I can only watch 2 or 3 pay-per-views per year.
This was written before they had the WWE Network, which is just $9.99 a month. Get all your pay-per-views for $9.99.
Sound like an advertisement.
No, the joke is that
that was the advertisement.
That they advertise it obnoxiously, like all the time. Like literally in a 3-hour show, they would bring it up. I'm not joking, like 50 times. It was pretty insane. Anyway.
I'm really happy my crush on, what was her name, Mia Hamm, kept me in the soccer thing. Anyway, I usually stick to watching my old WWF DVDs when I can, except for one. Last May, I was walking around campus when I passed by a pro wrestling store. Were those things? Were there actually pro wrestling stores?
Yes. I remember growing up, I actually... have you ever seen, like... You know how they have, like, those houses where they're kind of at the middle between a residential district and a business district?
Yeah.
And they're kind of just, like, small little hamlet stores. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like stores may or may not be legally stores. You don't know for sure.
I grew up not a block away from one.
Okay.
And the people who ran it were fucking weird. Because they owned a wrestling...
As you are.
Because they owned a wrestling store, yeah. And specifically, I think it was a WCW store, and I like WWF, so I never went in there, because it's just like, why the fuck would you... Are you, like, officially licensed? Put both of them in there, you weirdos. Anyway.
Like, I grew up with, like, a Trekkie store, so, like...
The chat's blown up with good things, like The Onion Taker and Dwayne the Broccoli Johnson.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
The Onion Taker sounds like if Shrek became a wrestler.
I'm trying to think if Shrek became a wrestler, he'd be Bray Wyatt. Anyway.
I had passed by that same lot a few days ago, and it was unoccupied and still had the "For Rent" sign. Those must be some efficient workers. I thought to myself, shrugging. I walked inside.
Okay. As soon as I walked in, a blast of cool air welcomed me. That's kind of a completely unnecessary, neat little note that I like.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you kind of remember is when you walk into a place and it's like, oh shit, this has really good AC. You know what I mean?
A really good heating.
Yeah, that kind of leaves a good impression. Thank God, too, South Carolina isn't exactly the coolest place in the country.
Yeah.
Scanning the shelves, I spotted action figures, signed merch, and DVDs. I hopped over to the DVD shelf and went through its contents. A couple of WrestleManias, a Jeff Hardy one, before Jeff Hardy... Oh, did the stream end? Oh, God.
Oh, God, what happened?
Oh, no, I think the...
Oh, did your visual effect just stop?
I think my visual effect is looping.
Ah.
Yeah. Gonna confirm. Yeah, the chat didn't stop. Okay, we're good.
No Carolina is better Carolina. They're both not good Carolinas.
Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna say which one has Mount Rushmore, and then I'm like, those are the wrong Norths and Souths, Brandon. Those are the wrong Norths and Souths.
Well, neither one has a amusement park called the Pavilion anymore because they had to shut down the only thing worth going to Carolina for.
Okay, South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina. You can go to the University of South Carolina and get a major in hip hop history, and it's taught by one of the greatest music rap producers of all time, Ninth Wonder from Little Brother. He invented the major, and now it's a real official major, and you can go there.
Are you gonna do that?
No, but it's a cool concept. And like there's a small reading list, but it's mostly a listening list where you have to buy CDs and you have to buy physical copies of them.
Oh.
It's cool. Anyway, thank God. Too good. Okay, a couple WrestleManias, a Jeff Hardy one, and a couple of In Your House, and a complete In Your House box set. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Like, my mind is assuming that that's something like Full House.
Goddamn. I love to. I hope everyone is actually like looking at the page as well where the story is to see what the In Your House font looks like, because it is the most early 90s thing you could possibly imagine. Because you're supposed to have Kane come out, and he like does this thing where there's fire,
And he's Kane.
and then there's girls, and they have big titties, and then you have this pastel looking fucking
Child show logo.
In Your House, guys.
In your house. In your house.
The intro was like that too, where it's
Yeah.
like kitschy 90s stuff of like just terrible CGI animation. Anyway. If you're not a wrestling fan, In Your House was a pay-per-view series that was held in the months that the WWF didn't have a major pay-per-view. So they had WrestleMania, they had SummerSlam, and then they had the rest were just In Your House. Scanning the shelves, I spotted action figures, signed merch, and DVDs. I already read this. Being from Memphis, there we go. I was able to go see the St. Valentine's Day Massacre event when I was 8. Oh my god. So they were having the St. Valentine's Day Massacre event and In Your House at the same time. And it wasn't even nosebleed seats. I was 4 rows from the ring. Okay.
I snatched the box set, and Eddie Guillermo?
I want you to keep guessing because this is great. You were close.
Oh, Jesus.
Guerrero.
Guerrero?
Yeah, you had Guerrero.
Guerrero.
If you're white, you say it Guerrero, and I'm white, so I say it Guerrero.
Well,
it's like
how does he say it?
Yeah, they roll their R's a lot more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that's pretty close. I snatched up a box set, an Eddie Guerrero figure,
And a Monster Energy from the vending machine. And I put my loot on the counter. I expected the In Your House collection to be worth a fortune, but nope. It's only $25. I didn't really think much of it, and I rode my skateboard back to my door while doing sick flips.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was a bad time to have drink in my mouth.
Oh,
Tormento.
Jesus.
Tormento. Corey in the ring.
Corey in the ring.
Eddie Guillermo del Toro.
Eddie Guillermo del Toro. When I got home, I popped the CD into my PlayStation 3. The menu came up, which was the In Your House logo and a collection of shots from the events. There were 4 options: select event, random event, options, and extras. I checked out the options menu. It was nothing special, just languages, subtitles, display, and all that junk. I don't remember much from the extras menu. I saw a promo for WrestleMania 2000, though. By the way, the DVD was apparently released in summer 1999. I decided to get this show on the road and went to select event. It took me to a list of In Your House pay-per-views, all 28 of them.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of wrestling. For a wrestling fan, that's a lot of wrestling too. I wonder if they mean WrestleMania 2000, the event, or the game, because WrestleMania 2000, the event, was garbage. The
Was it
game is like oh my god, one of the greatest. It's one of my favorite games. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's also one of Alan's favorite games. It's hard to describe how fun wrestling fighting games are on the N64. I've probably spent more time playing those games on the N64 than I have playing Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch combined.
Yeah.
Like, I played a lot of those as a kid. I also played Tony Hawk, where I did a bunch of sick ollies. I scrolled through and wasn't sure.
And sure enough.
And sure enough, there we go. Everything from the first In Your House to Backlash was there. Part of my mind wanted me to go further for some reason, to see if there were any more options. There were.
No.
All right. Right there on the screen was 29, Armageddon in Your House, clear as day. That's bizarre. I don't think that was how they did that. I think In Your House was just In Your House, and then everything else was separate.
Well, I mean, clearly it said there were 28, so this is the extra lost episode In Your House.
Well, no, there was a WWE pay-per-view called Armageddon.
Oh, so then whoever wrote this just flooped.
You see, I'm not sure if this person just doesn't know what they're talking about, or if I don't know what I don't know what I'm talking about.
You could Google it.
I could
Google it.
I bet you would be harder to find than you think, whether that's a thing or not. And it could also be that they maybe mislabeled it and just put that in the collection. I don't know. Anyway, the title itself didn't really strike me as odd. There were In Your House events that later became... Oh my god, this is a symptom of Brandon not reading ahead, like, a few seconds. There were In Your House events that later became yearly pay-per-views, like Unforgiven. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so they knew. They're right, and I'm just an idiot, and I just wasted everyone's time, and I'm continuing to waste everyone's time by explaining that I was wasting everyone's time.
At least you have a silky smooth voice.
Allegedly. The first Armageddon was held in December 1999. That's a good time to hold an Armageddon.
Was it?
Because, like, Y2K.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then they had Chris Jericho debut on Y2K as Y2J. And he's ended up being one of the greatest enduring wrestlers that they've had. He's been working there for 17 years now.
Jesus Christ.
And he's been doing it pretty consistently. But still, 29, as far as my extensive knowledge went, there were only 28 In Your House shows. Okay.
Alright. What?
Caleb Barrios, Chelsea's voice is also really sexy. Chicago K9, I see what you did there. Emily Smith, Y2J. Y2J is the best, but I'm glad they stopped calling him Y2J, because that got dated pretty quickly. I decided to select it. I was brought to another screen. The description said Armageddon took place in June 1999 in Charleston, South Carolina. I selected Match Select option. There were only 2 matches. The first one was a 20-man over-the-top battle royale, and the second was Kane versus Mankind in an Inferno match. For those that don't know, like Chelsea, an Inferno match, you know what a gimmick match is, right? Where it's like something stupid added on.
Yes.
Get prepared for one of the stupidest gimmick matches imaginable. The outside of the ring. So there's like a little distance between like the edge of the ring and where the ropes are. So like the edge of the ring comes out, and then the poles are there, and then the ropes are like right here.
Yeah.
I'm making a description so Chelsea can see, but no one else can see.
Yeah,
like
he's doing visuals.
The edge of the ring is here,
right.
And then the ropes are kind of here.
Yeah.
And along that little footing where they put their feet, they put little flamethrowers. And every time, I'm not making this up, every time someone gets slammed, the flames jut up.
Oh, jeez.
It's incredibly stupid.
Just fire.
And so the whole thing is that you try and, like, push people into the fire, but of course they can't let anyone actually get burned.
Which is why they're little tiny flamethrowers.
So it's like a giant thing of Chekhov's gun not being fulfilled, of just like, well, no one's going to leave here with 3rd-degree burns, so this is fucking retarded.
Right.
Alright. Okay. Saving the best for last, I chose the Battle Royale. Billy Gunn won. If anyone, if you're one of the few who care. Billy Gunn being one of the putties from DX. Do you know who Billy Gunn is?
I'm assuming he's not the guy that wrote Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, that's James Gunn, and I think that every time I see the person, I'm like, did fucking Billy Gunn write Guardians of the Galaxy? No,
Or direct, whatever.
Billy Gunn is Mr. Ass.
Oh, he's Mr. Ass.
I'm Mr. Ass. My thing is, I have an ass. You want to read after that?
Yeah. After that, I selected Kane versus Mankind. Both of the wrestlers made their entrances, though I think Kane's music was a bit different. A lower pitch, maybe. When both were in the ring, the fire around the canvas was lit, and the match was underway. As far as I remember, the match was pretty normal. Kane would get in a few hits, Mankind would get in a few, and they'd both hit their finishers sometime during the match. I, myself, felt pretty successful.
I was sitting there, clicking with my remote, watching the match unfold, and I'm like, you know who's doing well in life? I'm doing well in life. This guy right here with 2 thumbs.
I have all my fingers. I'm doing pretty well. I had found a lost WWF event. Still, why would Mr. McMahon remove all traces of this from the promotion's history? I was about to find out.
Okay, so that reminds me of the mass transit incident. I think I've told you about this because it cracks me up. If you don't know about the mass transit incident, there's a thing called ECW, which is Extreme Hardcore Wrestling. They do like a bunch of like barbed wire, lighting tables on fire, that kind of stuff.
Do they actually hurt each other?
They hurt each other really bad. Like, people bleed like fucking...
But, like, is it fake?
But, like, is it fake, though? It's been commented, the point of wrestling is to make the fans believe you're getting hurt when you're not. And then people say ECW is bad because the opposite happened. People really got hurt, and they kept asking for more.
Right.
But anyway, there was a time when they, no joke, let a 16-year-old boy who had never wrestled before get in the ring.
You told me about that.
With seasoned veterans and New Jack. And New Jack is a certified madman. And New Jack said, he was like, yeah, I want to take color, which means get cut. The boy said that. And the New Jack was like, okay, have you ever done that before? And he's like, no. So I'm not going to be able to do it myself. We're going to have to do it hard way. And that means that I need you to cut me. Oh my God, he cut him good across the forehead, and the boy was just in a pool of his own blood. He passed out before he got to the hospital. He survived and died like a year later from complications from being fat. But, so years later, they're doing this documentary, and the guy's like, hey, yeah, there was a lot of bad things that happened in ECW, and there was that one thing, but luckily we have all the remaining tapes of it, and we destroyed those. And then someone on the internet was like, oh, you mean the mass transit incident? No, I got videos of that. And so, like, and so if it wasn't for this person bringing up that this thing happened, then that tape would have never been re-leaked to the public.
Right.
But,
and then everyone would have forgotten about it.
oh my God, I'm sorry if you guys don't care about wrestling, but hopefully these stories are entertaining regardless. On the subject of creepy stuff, would you be able to erase this stuff from video? I don't know if you would. I'm not sure.
What do you mean, like...
From existence. Like, scrub this from existence.
I mean, you could try.
They try really hard with Chris Benoit, but hey, guess what? Every pay-per-view, someone in the front row is like, Chris Benoit! And then the sound cuts out for a second because people in the back have to cut out people literally saying Chris Benoit.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Chris. You gotta kill your family, Morty. I'm the voices in your head, Chris.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Kane had been getting a ton of momentum, and he grabbed Mankind in a chokehold. Knowing full well what was coming next, I smiled like I was 10 years old all over again. The big red monster lifted Mankind up and tossed him into the flames. The bell rang, signaling Kane had won the match. Then the screaming began. Horrible, antagonizing, ear-raping screaming that could only be described as a banshee's wail in reverse. The camera panned over to Mankind, and what I saw was terrifying.
He got it wrong there. They call Kane the Big Red Machine.
The Big Red...
And they said the Big Red Monster.
Yeah.
They messed up.
Yeah, like, I was wondering why that monster from Bugs Bunny would show up.
I thought it was a Big Red Monster TM. It's a Monster energy drink. It's the red flavor.
Yeah, it just
tastes
giant.
Tastes like
with
red.
Little tiny hands to lift people.
I still don't get why that Rainbow Dash drink I got was red. When I think Rainbow Dash, I don't think raspberry red.
You know, maybe I'm wrong, but isn't she mostly blue?
She's mostly blue. I would say like kind of like I would say blue lemonade is a good Rainbow Dash drink kind of color.
Yeah.
Electric lemonade.
There you go.
Electric lesbian lemonade.
Electric lesbian lemonade. That sounds delightful.
Okay, so I'm really confused as to where this is going to go. I think that the WWE has been successful in erasing some things from history, like here and there. Like, I don't think that there's footage of Owen Hart dying. And I think that aired live on TV, and I don't think that there's footage of it. So that, I think, is effectively lost to history, and I don't think anyone really wants to see that either. So maybe this could be deleted. I do like the whole thing of Armageddon's supposed to be this, but now it's this in the DVD selection. It's kind of that Dead Bart thing of episode whatever was supposed to be Moaning Lisa, but it was then replaced in its production code with this. And I kind of like that. If anyone wants to be an asshole in the comments and be more critical than me, you're open to it, but I think I'm kind of going soft on this story maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you do like wrestling.
Yeah, that really isn't affecting my perception, though. I'm just trying to work out whether this is believable or not, whether this is practical, you know? Anyway.
Yeah. Do you want me to read, or you want
Yeah, I would say read a little bit more.
Let's see here. Where was...
Banshee
scream.
That was terrifying.
Yes. Now, before I explain this scene, I'm rather immune to gore and disturbing imagery. I'm dedicated to X-File?
/X-File. Like the X-board on 4chan.
Yeah. And I've written a few creepypasta, but this was just above all that.
I think they would be better off not saying
this. Not trying to give credentials.
Not being like, this isn't your average creepypasta. It's that.
This is.
It's the meme that we have of, you know what? I was kind of grossed out, and I'm a pro gamer, so
right.
Like there are ways to do what they're doing here too, more elegantly. Of like, I'm a dedicated X-File.
You keep saying that. Like X-File and like I'm picturing like Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah, I know that's the joke.
See, Abysme saying it here. Don't use creepypasta in creepypasta. There are ways to do what they're doing here by lampshading. Like, I've seen creepy stories before. I've seen things be called like true scary stories before and stuff like this. And I've seen blah blah blah. You can do that. You just have to be more subtle about it. To like the whole thing where you discredit other stories to make your story more credible. You can do that. Just don't say creepypasta in a creepypasta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's maybe not the best choice. Fast forward to next month when I do that exact thing. But remember, kids, do as I say, not as I do.
Mankind was on fire. standard end to an Inferno match, right? That's how you win, after all. This was different. You could clearly see his skin melting off, showing muscle and even bone in some spot. His hair was singed, the lights in the arena turned off, but the flames still burned bright. And this went on. And on. And on.
Okay. So, an Inferno match where someone actually gets burned is kind of a cool concept. Like, okay, this did not go as planned, or maybe it did go as planned, or whatever. But yeah, that's not a bad concept. But here's the thing: is Mankind is still alive, and he was on Monday Night Raw last night.
Did he have his skin?
He had a skin, so...
He did not look like McDonald's ladies' genitalia. He
had really good plastic surgery, I guess.
The best plastic surgery.
For real, friends. Mankind. On Monday Night Raw, less than 24 hours ago. So...
I'll take your word for that.
Finally, Jim Ross ran over with an extinguisher and sprayed Mankind. His charred body laid there, not moving an inch. Paramedics arrived and took him out of the arena. The television cut to black and took me back to the main menu. I don't know why the announcer, Jim Ross, would be the person to use the fire extinguisher and not, I don't know, one of the crew that wear, like, black shirts around the ring. Like, one of, like, the 30 fucking people they have around the ring to do these kinds of things. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is Mankind Jeff the Killer?
Maybe that's the twist.
Is this a Jeff the Killer origin story? Oh my god.
Now, being a wrestling connoisseur, I had knowledge of what was legit and what was kayfabe. This was legit. There was no way, especially in 1999, that such a horrendous burning could be faked like that on live television. Fuck, I don't even think that's possible now.
If only he got bleached at the hospital. What was it? I don't think that's possible now. I had a brain fart there. I couldn't get the image of Mankind out of my brain. I hopped over to my computer and made a thread about it on Woo as quick as possible. Only one person knew what I was talking about. He said that Mankind wasn't originally Mick Foley. What the fuck? Okay, you better be jumping through some giant hoops here to explain that. 'Cause... like, there's footage of Mick Foley's debut match as Mankind, so I don't know what /woo is. I'm going to Google /woo real quick. What is /woo? Is that... okay, it's a wrestling 4chan discussion board. Okay. The character was portrayed by another, unknown wrestler who died after the Inferno match. The pay-per-view was never aired or referred to again. It had to have been broadcast live if it was In Your House.
So then multiple people would have seen it.
Like, tens of thousands of people would have, if not hundreds of thousands, probably tens of thousands. I'm probably overestimating. And Mick Foley was brought in to replace Mankind's original wrestler. Foley, however, had always been Cactus Jack or Dude Love. Had always been Cactus Jack or Dude Love. He played 3 different characters, so now you know that. Mankind was called the third face of Foley because the other wrestler's striking resemblance to Mick. The next morning, I went to the wrestling store and asked the manager about the DVD. Surprisingly, the place was open on Memorial Day. That's a weird fucking detail. The manager.
Most places are usually closed on Memorial Day, aren't they?
That's a bizarre detail.
At least they would, yeah.
Anyway, the manager said he found the DVD on the black market and thought it would be perfect for collectors. I haven't touched the disc since. Written by Jimmy the Keyblade Wielder. Oh my god, he appreciates Kingdom Hearts. Jimmy the Keyblade Wielder appreciates Kingdom Hearts.
All right, DP, check your Twitter, and he's there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Coleslaw Steve Austin.
I like it.
Yes, I will retweet this. Trying to get the Twitter link to post in the chat. Thank you, Beth. That is amazing. And really stupid and amazing.
I like his hair. It looks like cabbage.
Yeah, okay. So that's that. The ending of that story is fucking stupid. Looking at the first comment written by Red the Hedgehog, while having an interesting concept, it makes no sense since most of the casual wrestling fans know Foley has always been Mankind. And you said a different unknown guy played the character. You know what's fucking retarded? Is this story has Kane in it. Kane wears a mask. And Kane is a burn victim as a character, right?
Okay.
Wouldn't it make 1,000 times more sense that Mick Foley put Kane into the fire and then they replaced the Kane with a different Kane?
Sure, that would make more sense.
Because he's masked and you could switch him out. And they've actually switched out Kanes before, and they've done the same thing with Undertaker. That's such a... that's frustratingly stupid.
Tormental says, maybe he wanted to use Kane, but wasn't able.
Oh, Christ. No, Slime Beast. That's not funny. That's not funny, because the reason they called him Kane was for that very reason, of that biblical association. That's like saying something that has a bunch of fleas in it is lousy, and they saying like, oh, that's a pun. No, that's what the word literally means.
Which is why it's funny.
Coleslaw Steve Austin's signature move, the salad toss. Okay, so maybe we'll find another short story to read before we log off. If anyone wants to ask questions, now's the time to do it. My plug for the day is Carnal Chills. Carnal Chills. Go check out Carnal Chills. I'd recommend watching the first episode of Carnal Chills, not the 0 episode. The 0 episode is fine, but watch the
Episode 1.
Episode 1 first, I would recommend. I'm going to try and post that in the link to the page. Where do I suggest the short story? You can suggest a short story for me to read on Twitter. If you have a Twitter, you can do that. You can try putting it in the chat here. It might get censored automatically because it's weird like that. It only lets me post links. I don't know. But yes, our sponsor of the day is Carnal Chills.
Yes, they provided us all of the lubricant.
All of the lubricant.
That we're going to use to slide home.
When are the two of you getting on Discord? I'm never getting on Discord. I'm an old crotchety man that doesn't like Discord.
I'm on Discord, but I'm only on the Japanese Discord, so...
There's... What?
Yeah.
There's a Japanese Discord?
I mean, for people learning Japanese, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Also, Kayla says Darkly Lit.
A Darkly Lit podcast.
Yeah, which we will be doing at some point. Her,
eventually.
Me, and a few other.
Not me, I can't read. It's funny, though, you're starting off with a story that I actually have read by myself with my own 2 eyeballs.
I still, like that video of you trying to drunkenly read Lovecraft is, like, the most beautiful thing I own.
Oh, yeah. I do need to get super drunk sometime and just read on here.
Yeah. That can be something we do.
And then say a bunch of racial shit. Just post the name of the SCP and the number of the SCP, and I'll find it. And I'll read whatever it is, as long as it's not long. He lurks more than Slime Beast does, and that's saying something. I don't lurk on Too Spooky. I sometimes lurk on the Too Spooky actual website, not the Discord. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask them in between doing story and nothing else, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we
story and bullshit. No, the best part of that video is the way you say Jesus Christ, Lovecraft. Like, it's the most beautiful thing I've heard.
If anyone's wondering where this recording is, it does not exist for you.
It only exists for me.
When was I doing that? Was that after?
It was after my gay uncle's wedding.
Gay uncle's wedding. Oh my god, I was fucking...
You were drunk as shit, and so was Brian.
One might say I was obliterated.
One might say you were obliterated.
When David and Kayla were here, Kayla and I got super fucking drunk.
Didn't you guys drink a whole bottle of vodka?
Yeah, between us we drank a whole bottle of vodka, and I kept saying I was obliterated.
Yes,
and
over and over and over again.
And I didn't even notice I was saying it, and then I was about to say I'm obliterated, and then my friend interrupted me and was like, "Are you going to say you're obliterated?" And then it like dawned on me, it's like, I've said that like 50 times, haven't I? DP exclusively uses Usenet. I'm going to marry your super religious Uncle Beth. Okay.
Beth? Chelsea? What?
Beth? Chelsea? I don't fucking know anymore. He uses BBS. I've never been able to work my head around BBS.
I'm getting tore up during Midsummer's Night's Scream. Me too.
Yeah, we're all going to get tore up.
I'm gonna get so drunk, I'm gonna have 2 shots.
Gonna have 2 shots? They call me one mojito, Chelsea.
Uno mojito, Chelsea.
DP only ever communicates via cave paintings.
Let's see, we got 7 notifications.
I'm sure they are all related to the ridiculous thing Beth made. Will you be reposting the stream later as Cinema Nippon? Yep. Yeah, that'll happen. And let's see.
You or I as a comment on your channel discussion. Charles Norwood's Library of Classics. I don't know where to find that. I don't YouTube.
I don't have a super religious uncle, but I have a gay one. Yeah.
Who doesn't have a gay uncle? Is his name Bob? Because I feel like they're always named Bob.
Gay Uncle Bob. Gay Uncle Bob. Oh my god, Sagar, that'd be great if you can make it out to Midsummer Scream.
URL. Oh. Somebody posted a URL to your channel discussion. Grunkle Bob.
Let's see what. Yeah. Don't think we're getting any other suggestions in from SCP shit, so we'll do the stupid fucking one that Slime Beast suggested. I'm sure it'll be fucking stupid.
Are we just doing SCP?
We're doing an SCP entry, I guess.
Okay.
David, DP has
Check Outlook for your suggestions. Let us load Outlook up.
Loading up Outlook on Microsoft Edge. Loading it up on Microsoft Silverlight.
We got another suggestion. 1548CU.
That one, I'm betting, is more of a what's the term I'm looking for here? Auxiliary one.
Auxiliary.
To another story. So we'll see. It's a pupper.
It's a pupper.
Okay, well, we're going.
But pupper.
I don't know. This Slime Beast one looks pretty cool. I'm gonna put the Slime Beast one on the to read list, and then I think we're gonna do stupid pupper.
That's not a stupid pupper. That's the best and goodest dog. Haunted videotape of Friendship is Magic?
Yeah, there's this funny creepypasta you could read.
Charles says that's not an actual SCP. Well, corgi, though.
Message redacted. Okay, let's take a look at this pupper story.
Oh, pupper. Look at those ears.
Yeah, that's a cute little pupper. Okay. Is it the husky one? No, this isn't a husky. What do you call that kind of dog? I forget. That's a prototypical...
Oh, that's a corgi.
Is it a corgi?
Yeah, that's a corgi. That's one of the corgi types. There are like two.
There's the corgi types. You got water corgis. You got steel corgis.
Oh, you got fairy type corgis.
Earlier...
recently released.
I gave a little girl Pressicor's dinosaur book, Dinosaur A to Z. And she was scrolling through it, and there's one that has like zebra skin, zebra fur, and she was I asked her what her favorite one, and she's like, I like the zebra chicken one.
The zebra chicken.
Anyway, SCP-1548-CU, object class adorable, taken out, eminently adorable.
Special containment procedures. SCP-1548-CU is currently uncontainable due to her love of waddling around in that cute little way she does. She is to be observed by everyone who loves it at Research Unit blank, currently located at blank Sark 3. Small-scale pillows and blankie piles are currently in use to allow for 24-hour cuddling.
Jesus Christ. You're happy reading this stupid bullshit, aren't you?
I'm so happy.
Tormental says, corgi in the house.
Okay.
Wait, so I'm trying to figure this out. Is there an entire thing of, like, pupper-based...
I don't know.
Is there, like, a pupper SCP thing? Or is this just one of the joke ones? Or is there this separate...
I want there to be, like, a completely separate website for just bullshit cute dog...
SCPs?
Yeah. All received cuddles are to be photographed and transmitted to the SCP-1548-CU database at site blank. MTF Gamma 5 is currently assigned the task of feeding her every day and making sure her milk is warm, otherwise she gets hiccups.
Jesus Christ. So, Tormental says, I didn't think DP streams could get any earlier. No, man. We haven't even done the iCarly stream, because the iCarly stream is happening at some point. I don't know when. I don't know how.
And neither will you, but it'll happen.
It'll happen when you least expect it. SCP, Secure Cuddle Pupper. I like down at the bottom it says, Star, come here, girl. Look at the camera.
I know, it's so cute. And look at his little paws.
So
little.
Recently we've been calling Cassie, our dog, the pet receptacle.
That's a good nickname.
It's where you dispose of all your pets.
Yes.
Put all the pets on the pupper.
Pet.
Description: SCP-1548-CU is the foundation term for Star, a 2-month-old Welsh Corgi puppy who is so wonderful.
Who is just so wonderful.
Originally born in 19... redacted, the gorgeous nature of her fur was not known until 19 redacted, when Agent M redacted, then a dog enthusiast at redacted, saw her napping in a sunbeam. Observation revealed that she was, in fact, snoring.
Aww.
The first fully transcribed message related to SCP-1548-CU, translated from Russian and broadcast in 3 bursts, reads the following. She's awake. Aw, she's looking around. I think someone's hungry. SCP-1548-CU normally moves at a rate approximately 0.85 waddles a second.
Waddles a second.
Waddle per second. Although higher waddle rates have been recorded. See Addendum SCP-1548-CU-A.
Over the course of the next 10 minutes, Star was observed to accelerate as fast as her little legs could carry her. During this period, she began to make these cute little yipping noises, and oh gosh, you had to be there. We just wanted to all just squeeze her. Having reached her apparent maximum velocity by unknown means around lunchtime, she began to scamper around the puppy playroom and bump into cushions. It was at this point that SCP-1548-CU began to demonstrate awareness of those observing her. She looked up at Agent M Redacted and made this grumbling noise, and then he leaned down and she started to try to eat his fingers, and we were all just like, ah. This means by which SCP-1548-CU apparently predicts the future in order to make everything she does as precious as physically possible is unknown.
So to break it down, what's happening here? At the bottom, in Japanese letters, it says Yuudachi, which means evening shower, which is the opening song to Boogie Pop Phantom, which I thought was good for like an evening night stream.
Yeah.
And then on the screen is a can of gas and like really edgy bullshit. And then we're reading about puppers. I would imagine everyone coming into the stream is totally fucking confused by now.
Are they though?
Okay. Addendum SCP-1548-A on Redacted 1980 Redacted 05 Redacted on medical leave from the Foundation duties visited the puppy playroom and played with SCP-1548-CU. The playroom cameras observed her moving across the room, but she kept on tripping and getting back up and bumping into things or getting distracted. But she really just wanted to snuggle with 05-Redacted. We could all tell. 05-Redacted was all, come here, you want to play? Yes, you do, girl. The following transmission, the precious little bundle of joy waddles around and
rate increase
from 8.5 waddles per second to well over 1 waddle per second, necessitating the use of high-speed cameras to record her bouncing, and made the happiest noise she makes. You know that one? Over the next 8 hours, SCP-1548-CU cuddled all over data expunged, totaling more than a gigabyte of really, really snuggly photos. This was the longest continued cuddle to date. Username says, I'm really confused as to why DP is streaming instead of playing the Overwatch anniversary event. Poor planning, but I felt like I said I was going to stream, I wanted to stream, and I'm going to probably play
Overwatch until you have to go to work.
Yeah. Anyway,
Addendum SCP-1548-CUB. SCP-1548-CU is reclassified as an eminently adorable by the order of 05-Redacted. I don't care if she gets across the playroom in 5,700 years. She's just so cute. 05-Redacted. Addendum SCP-1548-CUT. After feeding time on 11/4/19 Redacted, she burped.
I love it when Cassie burps, because she'll be like playing and panting, and then she'll just kind of like she'll go catatonic for a second to burp. Aww. Like the burp kind of like freaks her out of like, oh god, like she has a look on her face like, when you ever see someone in a room when you're having a party and people are getting drunk, and then you see that moment in someone's face when they realize they're too drunk.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh God,
shit.
gotta reassume control. Like she does that, like, oh God, I gotta reboot. You're fine. And then she just like goes back to being alright. Okay.
Alright. Shall we read the other one? And then...
No, fuck that. I think we're good.
Okay. You want to play Overwatch?
I want to... Yeah, that's the thing that I want to do.
It's not sleep.
It's not. Other thing. Okay. So, going to throw this into the chat. That is... Miss Boo, what is this stream? I like it so far. Will this be a regular thing? This will be an irregular theme. Thing. I'm probably going to be streaming on average like once a week, if maybe less than that.
Maybe once every 2 weeks, somewhere
in between there. Irregularly, some weeks stream more, some weeks stream less.
Yeah, yep.
Corn going off outside. We'll see what happens. That YouTube link in the chat is to Carnal Chills, a new YouTube channel. Does very similar things to what I'm doing. Go check it out. A story by Abysme is currently on that channel. It's the first story read. Not the first story read. It's episode 1, not episode 0. So it's the second story read. Yeah, not sure when the streams will happen. They'll be super irregular, depending on my schedule, Chelsea's schedule, what I feel like. Whatever.
And whether or not we're getting food.
Yeah, whether we're getting food. So... never plan on us being at a certain place at a certain time unless we say so.
Never plan on us actually being there for you.
And then when we do show up,
it'll be a surprise.
You're welcome, Sakura. I'm glad to shout out your stuff. Sorry it took me so long to get around to checking it out. Checked it out this morning. Thought I'd throw up a link. The stream should be archived soon. Don't think there's anything else I'm forgetting. Wash your ears, read your creepypastas,
Pet your puppers.
Pet your puppers.
Pet your friends' puppers, but not your friends themselves.
Unless they consent to it.
Unless if they're your best friend or co-pilot.
Unless they are your best friend or co-pilot. I fucking hate all of you. Bye.
Bye.